This video is brought to you by viewers like you. Consider supporting us on Patreon.
Yo, 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 yo. Oh my god, I gotta stop going to the same place all the time. Man, I go to Akihabara way too much recently. God damn, I mean, if this place wasn't so fucking fun to hang out in, then I wouldn't come here all the time, you know? Come here all the time. But anyway, hey guys, welcome back to another Tikyo Rants where yours truly, Papa Tikyo, does a little rant and rave about his life here in Tokyo. How's it going, everybody? I'm in the wonderful Akihabara today. I just went and met my hot Japanese To-chan for the very first time in person. It was awesome. You know, I follow this guy on Twitch for a long time, for maybe like a year or two, and I don't know, it's cool. He doesn't show his face online, and he turned out to be this dude who completely, I don't know, he just didn't look at all what I imagined him to look like, you know, but I thought he'd look more like my friend Sato from Chiba, who's kind of like my height, but, you know, like kind of goofy looking dude. And nah, he was just like a serious, like, kind of old guy. And he was really cool looking for an old guy. I thought he'd be more geeky and stuff because he likes Akihabara so much, but he's really cool. Like, he's an Ikemen To-chan. I was very surprised. But anyway, it's getting dark. As you can see, it's winter right now. And it's cold. Like, it's not super cold yet, but it gets cold. Like, in Japan, I guess, like, you know, this is more East Coast than anything, because I remember in New York it would get fucking, like New York and Boston, it would get fucking cold. It gets so cold, like, it's just like, because of the stupid fucking wind chill that we have back east. But, you know, I remember in Colorado, at least it was dry. You know, it was a dry snow, it wasn't that bad. And, goddamn, but anyway, this cold here, it's like, it's humid, so it kind of like, you know, it bites your bones, kind of thing. Stings to the bottom of your bones. Haha, I'm cutting in there. Take that. Suck my pee-pee, motherfucker. But anyway, yeah, guys. Today we're going to be talking about, aside from that, it's cold, just like the place in Canada where these two people come that we're talking about today. And like always, I want to start these videos off by saying big thank you to everybody who supports me over on patreon.com/Tkyosam. You guys are badass. Thank you so much for the help, because you know Google ain't paying me shit. And also, yeah, I always like to tell you guys where we're going. And so today we're going from Akihabara back to my home in Nakano Shimbashi. And yeah, the question of the day is what do you think of Simon and Martina? Do you like their stuff? Do you not like their stuff? Do you follow anybody from Canada on YouTube? If so, tell me. I'm always looking for new people to watch on YouTube. So, yeah. And I guess before we officially start, big shout out to our sponsor, Nakano Shimbashi Guest House. Boom! These guys are amazing. They do. They're the cheapest, best located guest house in all of Japan. Like, that's it. That's all you got to say. They're the cheapest, best located guest house in all of, well, I don't know about Japan, but definitely Tokyo. It's under $400 a month. It's 5 minutes by train from Shinjuku, and it's amazing. It's a great place. I love it. Go stay there. Also, big shout out to NordVPN. If you guys want to protect yourselves while surfing online, nothing better than using NordVPN. And it's like fucking wicked cheap. Go use my code down there and do the thing. Anyway, and just to start this off, for any of you guys who think this is a shit-talking video, it is not. I actually like these two a lot, and this is more just like a speculation video. So if you came here trying to talk dirt about these two or whatever, you came to the wrong place, because I actually really like them. But just because I like somebody doesn't mean I can't speculate on what happened with them. What happened? You know, who's your dad? Tell me about your dad. Anyway, yeah, so if you guys are watching me, more than likely you like either motorcycle videos, which all I do is ride motorcycles, so I guess that's not it, but it's either you probably like Japan. You probably like Japan, and you don't like a lot of the cookie cutter vloggers that you see online that are talking about Japan in English. So that's probably why you like my stuff, or you know me from the Raka Raka crew. And you just, oh my God, is that a hearse? What is that blue car over there, guys? I don't mean to cut this off, but what is that blue car? Tell me what that blue car is in the comments. I know I got a couple of gearheads in my fucking thing. What is that car? Is that a Volvo? It's not a Volvo. It's got a blue cross. Could be Volvo. Norway. I don't know if Norway is a blue cross. Maybe Iceland. Anyway, guys, but yeah, Simon and Martina. For all of you who don't know, well, let's start this off of who are Simon and Martina. So, you know, about a couple years ago, like over 5 or 7-ish years ago, there's these YouTubers that started making a lot of talking videos with pop-ups. They didn't go out or do anything. They didn't learn the language. They didn't go out and actually film themselves outside, but they would like talk about the country that they're in, and like they would talk about it from the convenience of their house, and like have really good lighting, and it looked really cool. And those people were Rachel and Jun. Those were two. That one was a foreign, like an American woman, and her Japanese husband, and they would talk about Japan and all these things Japan related, even though Rachel had just moved here for like a month. But they would just have these talking videos. Now, with not that much editing, but the lighting was really good, and Rachel looked really cute because she put makeup on and everything too. And I don't really have anything against those two. They capitalized on like a fad that was going, and it worked really well. Now, unlike their stuff though, their stuff was really kind of, in my opinion, bland. Rachel and Jun, it was just like they got a big push from Give Me a Break Man early on, and eventually, you know, they're very PC, vanilla, so YouTube would push their stuff quite often because they're both two attractive people in Japan, and they made very cookie-cutter, kid-friendly videos. And see, the thing of Simon and Martina is that these two, they were not a kokusai, or was a international couple. They were both two Canadian people that came over to Korea to teach English. And they wanted to do something creative, so they started a YouTube channel where they would talk about Korean stuff, like, you know, stuff when they were in Korea, or stuff that's like, you know, like K-pop or whatever. They talked about this, that, and everything in Korea, and it was really cool, you know, like their videos are really well edited. I mean, unlike Rachel and Jun's, like they had pop-ups, and it was really funny and interactive. Like, it felt like I was watching like an old MTV show or something. It was so fun to watch them, and like I loved their channel. Like they set such a high benchmark for video production, and just like I love it how they were obviously two people that were kind of conscious about what they talked about, but they were very comfortable in front of the camera, and they felt real, you know. Like, they felt like I was, like, these two people act like this all the time, and somehow they're not, like, cringy on camera. And, like, you could tell both of them genuinely love each other, and the way they interact and everything. And they were cool. I mean, they were English teachers, but they had cool kind of fuck you hair, and they were just, like, they seemed, I loved their chemistry. Like, I remember I forgot what it was, but it's like, you know, like I can't remember what exactly they were saying, but like they had an inside joke where it's like 20 seconds, 20 or something, and it's just like they called each other Ducky, and it's just, they were adorable. And like I watched them for the last like 7+ years, I guess, and I watched them go from this like skinny young couple that would just stay inside and talk most of the time to this like kind of like fatter, older, more hair, you know, couple that would go out and film these really high quality videos. And I loved seeing their videos. Like, it was always such a treat when they would pop up. I even subscribed to their bonus channel because I just loved it. They would always post videos and bloopers on there, and they were so smart. They totally capitalized on this whole YouTube thing. They were so smart about it. They were so good. And so like, you know, they made their own merch. They eventually got their own studio. Like, they started a business, so they had like a business visa in Korea, and they made all these contacts within the, like, I honestly think like right now K-pop is huge, right, around the world, And this is so funny because when I was younger, you know, when I was younger and I was a weeb in high school and college, like, K-pop, J-pop was not a thing. You know, like, you had to go to conventions. Like, you couldn't even download or buy this stuff online. You'd have to go to anime conventions and buy these CDs in bulk just to be able to listen to this stuff. There was no YouTube back then. I love that train. Sobu line, so good. But anyway, it's just like, I think that K-pop became really big, I think, in part to them. Like, I think they definitely had a part in it, because they introduced English speakers to all this different kind of K-pop very early on, before it was very, like, out there. And goddamn, like, I don't know, it's just, it's so funny seeing them, like, now, like, basically they were in Korea, and they eventually stopped teaching, both of them, and they started their own business. And they kept doing that for a couple of years, where they had a studio and they had staff. They had like these bilingual staff that would come and always help film with them. And they would go, like, before they even had their studio, they'd go out to like a cafe to edit and stuff. And they would always make, they had like merch, and they would do just stupid videos just for fun sometimes, like videos of their cat, Professor Memersworth. And I remember that video when they got the cats. Like, I started watching their stuff after they got the dog, but I started watching their stuff after they got the cat, or I mean before they got the cat, and I loved the cat. Like, I'm allergic to cats, but I fell in love with Scottish folds, whatever you call them, Scottish ear folds. I fell in love with that breed. If I ever have a cat, I want to get one that looks just like Professor Memersworth. And I remember that video. They're just like, both of them are freaking out because the cat's just like, the cat's just on ADHD pills, and he's just jumping all over the place. And and now he's a big fluffy kitters. He's a big fluffy kitty. And I don't know, it's just, up until now, I've never given a shit about anybody who put their pets out there. And but Simon and Martina always had a way of making everything seem so appealing and fun. Like you don't know them, but they're putting themselves out there in a way that, like, in a way and a style and presentation wise, that like you feel like you know them. And it's not just like, hey, what's up everyone back home, it's John, and I'm doing a video today, I'm gonna go eat some sushi. Like, they were like, hey guys, what's up? Like, it felt like they had like real like awesome transitions. Like, again, I remember they'd have these really cool intros that are custom made. Well, I mean, it seemed like just a template that they took from After Effects or whatever, where they would go and just like they put their name, like you could see their name and like produced by and stuff, and it felt like I was watching a high quality thing, even though this was YouTube. And they were never dicks about it. They were like, hey, before even Patreon came along, they asked everybody to whitelist their channels from ad blocker so they could at least get the Google AdSense. And so many people did it. So many people were like, yeah, that's awesome. And I love it too, because they're not super PC. I mean, like, they you know, like, what is it? Like, you could tell that they probably cuss. Like, maybe not cuss like sailors, but they do cuss in their real life. And I love it, because, like, I remember when I met somebody like Tokyo Kuni, who rarely cusses in his videos, and he cussed like a fucking, like, he said fucked up shit like all the time in his videos. Or I mean, not in his videos, but when I met him in real life, like, he just said it just to kind of get like a response out of me, you know. And like, same thing, there's so many YouTubers out there that they're just like, they're like Bob Saget, you know, like, hey Michelle, put that down, you fucking cunt bitch. You know, it's just like they can switch on and off. I wish I could do that. I'm not good at like faking like a nice PC personality. I mean, when I'm in front of kids, I can do it, but that's because it's kids. I don't like acting like a nice, calm adult just because of, you know, just because other adults can't take my bad potty mouth, you know. But anyway, so yeah, they made videos all about Korea and their lives in Korea, and then eventually they moved to Japan. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention, when they were in Korea, not only did they have their own studio, which was fucking awesome and badass, but they also started their own cafe. They started their own cafe too, and like, I forgot, it was called like Eat Your Kimchi Cafe or something. But Hi, Ministry of Defense. How's it going? You know, they would have their own, like, they had their own cafe and everything, and just, I don't know, I always remembered, like, they always had everything. They had videos talking about Korea. They had videos where they would go out to, like, different places and rent a car. They had their friend that got hit by a drunk driver, and they did, like, a GoFundMe for her, and they really helped her out. They would talk about their life. Eventually, they started opening up, and they talked about how Simon was depressed, you know, and like how his house got broken into when he was 14 by like some of his friends, and that he used to act all black and like walk around with like a pimp limp or whatever, and he played basketball, and how Martina was his you know, his friend, and he wanted to date her, but they were just friends before that, and he had to wait until she broke up with her asshole boyfriend. And yeah, I don't know, it's just like they always had something to talk about, and no matter what it was, I always thought it was interesting, you know. And anyway, eventually I think they got tired of Korea. They're like, okay, we've kind of milked this place for everything we want, and there's too many rules here, and it's expensive, and it's cold during winter, so fuck this. And they decided to move to Japan, and they moved everything. They moved all their shit, they moved their pets, and they did it without anyone knowing until they fucking came here. And it was like a half a year experience for them to get all the way over here, and they did a really good job, you know. And they talked about the whole time, they had a whole video dedicated to like how hard it was getting their pets over here. And then poor Spudgy died. Their cute little Spudster died after just coming here for like a year or so. And yeah, I don't know, and then like Martina also opened up about her disease, and how, you know, she has this disease, but she didn't want to be one of those people that gets labeled for having the disease. You know, she's like, this disease doesn't own me, I own it, and like I don't want it to define me. And like, you know, you saw like Simon, like eventually, like I think her disease was like degenerative bone disease or something, so like her bones would, like, she would just get weak. I think it was like something like Mr. Glass, or something like in Unbreakable, where you know, they had to, or like she would just get hurt too easily, or like her I forgot if it was a nerves thing or if it was like muscle or whatever, but she you know, she had a disease that it really hurt her a lot, and she was in constant pain, and even there were times when she said she couldn't climb up the stairs, so Simon started working out so he could help, like, you know, carry her and everything. And he got really buff and muscular, and he was going bald, so he started shaving his head, and he grew out a beard, and both of them got more tattoos. And I don't know, eventually I was so surprised. Like, they said they moved after Corona happened. They're just like, fuck that, I'm moving. Oh my god, that was close. They're like, we're moving back to Canada. And then when they finally get back to Canada, they don't make videos with each other anymore. And I guess that's the speculation part of this video, is that like both of these people, I love them. Like, I've never met them before, but I love them to death. But I feel like there's something going on, you know. I mean, like they waited until they got over there officially to announce that they were going to Canada and moving there. And then on top of that, they're not making videos with each other anymore. And I mean, as far as I'm aware, I think they were still in each other's, like, both of them would be in the videos when they made videos before. But they like, since they moved back to Canada, like, you don't see any pictures of both of them together. You don't see either of them in the videos. I mean, even when it was just Martina in the video, you would still hear Simon as the cameraman interacting. And I don't know, it's just like a lot of people, like, you know, it's one of those things where the YouTubers are like, look, Simon's like something excuse, please respect our personal privacy, whatever. And you know, it sucks because, like, yeah, like, I feel like as a viewer of theirs, I only want them to be happy. Like, they've given me years of free entertainment, and they never asked anything from me. And I think they did do a GoFundMe, though, when they opened up their cafe. I think I did contribute to that Kickstarter or whatever. But yeah, I mean, like, aside from that, but like, that was just for like all the years they had given me free content. I felt like I owed them. And you know, it makes me really sad to see that if they're splitting up, like, it feels like they've gone through such a, I don't know, it seems like they've gone through such a time right now where it's like, they may be unsure about their relationship, so they're just taking some time apart to feel it out. And, you know, like, life's complicated, you know, it's like, ningen kanke ga, nanga chitto, tanjun no mon janai yo ne. It's like, human relationships are a complicated thing. So, fukusatsu no mon da na. And, like, you know, same thing with me and my buddy Mark, you know, like, God, I'm probably going to release this video sometime after I release that video, but, like, you know, my buddy Mark and I had kind of a falling out, and I still consider him a really good friend of mine, but he's been a bad friend to me, you know? Like, I helped get that guy out of prison. I was the only one who really worked hard, aside from his fucking family, to get him out of jail and make sure I was on top of everything. And, you know, for some reason, he just started being an asshole and, like, hanging out with all these people that don't like me. And, you know, which is fine. You can't control who your friends hang out with, and I don't want to be that guy. But, like, coincidentally, the same month that he didn't want to talk to me was the same month he coincidentally started hanging out with all these guys who have publicly talked shit about me online. And he's like, oh, that has nothing to do with that stuff. And I'm like, well, why aren't you talking to me? You know, we're friends, right? I helped you get out of fucking jail. Why aren't... If you have an issue, like, let's talk it out. And he's like, oh, you know, I'm kind of autistic or something. I'm like, whatever, dude. You go out and get drunk with new people all the time. You can't just sit down and have a 5-minute real talk with some guy who considers you his good friend. And just, like, you know, and, like, he gave me the silent treatment. And I'm like, you know what, that's fine. But if he he's going to be that way, I'm going to stop reaching out, you know? Like, he wants to, he thinks our friendship's like that. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't think it's either he doesn't understand what real friendship is, or he's just an asshole. You know, it's one of those things. But either way, I'm not giving up on him, per se. Like, if he wanted to still hang out, I don't know. I mean, I'd have to really think about it this time, because, you know, we're in our 30s. You don't treat somebody that you've known for 10 years like this, and then you become 30, and then you just do this shit. Like, no mental health excuse or whatever. Nah. And so, like, you know, but at the same time, he's been my friend publicly for years, so I can't just disown him. And I don't want to disown him, but at the same time, like, I deleted all of his emojis and stuff and kicked him out of my Discord, just because I'm like, dude, you know, I'm not going to let you benefit off of the stuff that I've built if you're not even going to have the fucking time, give me time just to talk to you. Like, you know, you need time, that's fine, but you take time away from me and my online shit, dude. You know, you're not going to benefit off of that while you're being an asshole to me. And I think, like, maybe Simon and Martina are possibly, like, it's kind of like not exactly a mirrored situation or parallel situation, but it is kind of like that, where it's like maybe something happened and they just needed to take time apart. And, you know, they said that, like, they took a video of Simon, and he's in a completely different kitchen than what Martina's been in, and he's lost so much weight. And this is not healthy, oh, I'm a new age guy and I've been meditating weight. This is like, I've been depressed, something bad happened, and I don't want to eat weight. And, you know, again, like, when you're online, especially when you have as many subscribers as them, you know, like, you can't just come out and say stuff, especially when it's not finalized. I mean, you know, I've learned through the years that you got to let some stuff go and let some, you know, leave some breathing room and not just burn a bridge with people who I realized, you know, wanted to benefit off of me but wouldn't change their bad habits themselves, that I didn't want to be around them anymore. And I realized that, you know, like, we all hear the saying, there's toxic relationships out there, and you hear from all the gurus and all the successful people, you just need to get away from those toxic relationships. And, you know, toxic could be that they're gaslighting you, toxic could be that they're, I don't even know what gaslighting is. I think it's like when you say, like, hey, did you see the keys? And then you hid the keys, but then you're asking them where the keys are or something. I don't know. It's like tricking people just to be a dick or something. But anyway, it's just like, you know, there's people who, I think any relationship is all about, doesn't need to be 50-50, but there needs to be some kind of reciprocation. And you know, with my buddy Mark, you know, for years and years, like, he was super depressed and, you know, he felt like shit. So I thought I would put him in my YouTube channel because it would give him confidence, and he's a cheapskate, so it would allow him to meet new people that are coming to Japan. And, you know, if people are like, Sam, I want to hang out with you, I'll buy you a drink. I'm like, nah, but buy Mark a drink, you know. And so, like, he probably met over a couple hundred people, or at least 100, thanks to me doing that. And on top of that, like, you know, he's got, like, I saw him live streaming just a couple weeks ago, and he's with all those guys that were talking shit about me, and having a little circle jerk on his live stream. And, you know, they're just sitting there drinking, talking shit about other people that are actually doing stuff versus doing anything themselves, and they think they're better than everyone because they've been in Japan for a while or something, you know. And it's just like, at that point, you got to remember, like, he's with all these people because I put him in my videos. You know, he's live streaming because I set up his live stream thing. But is he grateful? Nah, he's not grateful. You know, and like, he's gotten a free Nintendo Switch. I raised over $7 grand for him on GoFundMe when he was in jail. You know, I got all these people to send books to him. One of my subscribers sent him a brand new living room and bedroom, like, furniture set, just because, like, they thought that he could use some new furniture. Like, the guy's made at least probably $10,000 worth of just random rewards and money, thanks to just being part of my videos, you know. And I've never asked for anything in return from him, except for maybe, like, crashing at his house when I came back from Australia. But, I mean, do I hate him? No. But am I angry at him? Yeah. Am I disappointed? Definitely. But it's like, do I want to cut ties with him completely? Nah. But I think at the same time, it's okay for friends to get some space. And I think that's what Simon and Martina are doing. It's like, something happened, and they need space from each other right now, and they don't know what to do, you know. They don't know how to take it, so they're just kind of like not talking about it publicly, you know. And I feel that it's like, you know, especially with like the Mark and me situation, it's like I always, like, you know, I always see potential in all these people who are kind of in a worse off spot than me. And you know, denial is a big part of anyone's life, you know. Like, we deny shit all the time, but like like, this is a guy, like, there's so many people that I see that have talent or whatever, and they like me, like, they like hanging out with me. They like, I don't know if it's necessarily clout, because I don't really know, I'm not that popular, but they like the attention they get from hanging out with me. And they, you know, it's like, I treat people who are near me good, you know, and people obviously like that. But it's like, but one thing I've learned is, like, no matter how good you are to some people and how much you change their lives, people are ungrateful assholes at the end of the day. Which is why, as you get older, you keep your circle of really tight-knit friends smaller and smaller. And I bet with Simon and Martina, they've probably been screwed over a couple times too, you know. I remember, like, Simon and Martina, they even had, when they moved to Japan, after Final Fantasy 15 came out, Simon made a YouTube channel just to stream Final Fantasy 15, and it was called Drink Your Potions. And he just wanted to live stream him playing the game. And, I mean, the great thing about live streaming is, if you ever wanted to talk one-on-one with, like, a big YouTuber or a big live streamer, just find out when they're live streaming and donate money to them. They'll probably read your message if you donate. So I remember donating a couple times, and I was like, hey, Simon, you know, I remember when they were in Korea, they got a lot of hate because they filmed themselves going out one day, and there were these Korean politicians, like, right outside their house in these, like, really just fucking loud ass political, like, speaker vans. And you know, Simon and Martina speak a bit of Korean, so they were like, hey, you know, that's great and all, but can you not be so loud? You know, trying to sleep and it's Sunday morning. And they were like, ha ha ha, that's funny, silly foreigners. But then, like, you know, that was a right-wing politician, and I guess his followers found out about that little incident, and so, like, they got a shitload of fucking Korean haters that were hating on them, and they, like, you know, they disregarded that event ever happening until they finally moved to Japan and they could talk about it freely. And I remember Simon being like, "Oh yeah, I remember that." And like, I know Simon and Martina are watching this video. And hi guys, because I mean everybody watches a video where they're being talked about. I mean, YouTubers are pretty petty. I'm not gonna lie, like, you know, YouTubers are pretty petty. I'm petty too. And but I mean, like, you know, it's just YouTubers are we're egotistical. We like hearing what people are saying about us, and they probably have had a lot of videos of people talking about, "Oh, come on, let me get through this. Let's pull up a bit. Can I nope, you're not gonna pull forward. Okay, I see how it is." But you know, YouTubers, like, you know, it's interesting when they have people talk about them, right? Okay, I can cut around this guy. There you go. And so Simon and Martina, if you are watching this, I just want to say, hey, those are my boys. Those are my boys. Yeah, those are my Uber Eats boys. I don't do Uber Eats, but I always see them outside the McDonald's. I say hi. But that's not what I wanted to say, Simon and Martina. What I wanted to say is that you guys have been like amazing YouTubers, role models. Just ultimately, I wish more expats were like you and not the latter. But you know, it kind of makes me sad to see that you guys are obviously going through some tough shit, and that it's obviously tough enough that you can't really talk about it online. And it makes me wonder, not if, but when I get that big, how am I going to deal with that, you know? How am I going to deal with all that pressure and people speculating about stuff about me and stuff, and you know, because it's like, I love their videos, but it's like if I notice this with a lot of Asian vloggers, it's like, you know, when you move out of Asia, like, what else do you have really, you know? I mean, my favorite thing was that, like, the contrast between Asia and you guys being not Asian and, like, you know, enjoying your life there as a foreigner. And it's like, if you go back to Canada, you're just in white people land or Western people land. And it's like, what are you going to do then? Like, I guess they've made their money. You know, they've had their, like, international experience, and now they're back to be with their parents, probably rent-free. So, I don't know. It's always interesting to see the progression of this stuff. And, I don't know. You guys are great. But, again, I feel like back on the toxic people thing, though, it's like, you know, you can hang out with somebody for a long time, and they still could be bad for you, you know? Like these people, like my buddy Mark or my ex-editor Andy, it's like I've been waiting for them to, like, rise up, get to their full potential, or even half of their potential, and it's like, nah, like, you know, like I know plenty of English teachers here who they like to fib it a bit. Like, if you've ever watched, well, now you guys haven't watched it, or if you've ever read Little in Japan. There's Big in Japan, the song, but then there's this comic called Little in Japan, and it's about this angry, fat, old English teacher and how he's bitter, he never learned Japanese, and he always shits on all these new people coming to Japan and really enjoying it, and, like, really just immersing themselves in the culture for 17 years and stuff, you know? 17 years. The people, the customs, the culture. My wife is Gaijin, Miss Gaijin Goomba. You know, it's like these guys, they, you know, there's all these English teachers who are like, yeah, I'm a DJ. Oh yeah, I'm a professional photographer. And, like, I heard this, like, when I was in like LA, and people were, like, driving an Uber, and they were like, well, actually, I'm a script writer. Actually, I'm this and that. And I'm like, no, you're not. Like, I mean, you want to be, but you're not yet. And it's like, well, if I think it, I will become. But I feel like with people like these friends that I've had before, they don't, like, this is the thing that's different from them and, like, Simon and Martina, is that Simon and Martina, they probably said they're going to do this, and then they did it. All these other guys, they like to be just English teachers and just judging other people. And, like, they career-wise, they don't blow up at all. And I mean, hell, dude, I don't have a career. I'm a fucking YouTuber, you know? Like, this is my proof is in my subscriber base and my online audience, you know? But, you know, it's like all these people, they feel like they're better than everyone because they've somehow spent a long time in Japan. Like I heard Mark talking about this on the stream when I dipped in for the first time in weeks, and it's like I've been here forever, and that doesn't make me special. You've only been here for a couple of years, and that doesn't make you special either. And it's like, dude, at the end of the day, the internet is huge. The internet is big enough for everybody. And so for you to complain about that shit, you know, and acting like you're better than everyone when really you haven't done anything original or cool or interesting yourself, instead of just like the only cool thing you've done online is latch on to your friend who's been, you know, doing semi-interesting stuff, then really, like, what, you know, it's one of those things where, like, I remember Oriental Pearl put it best. She's like, if you're going to judge somebody online, you better make sure you have better, if not equally interesting content on there. Otherwise, you really got no right to judge. I mean, even if you, well, anyone's got the right to judge, but you definitely don't have the stepping stool as big as them because you haven't worked as hard, you know? And, anyway, I'm going to go into the supermarket over here and get some stuff, but thanks for following me all the way over here, guys, and do me a favor, if you like this video, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button and subscribe bell to get notified when there's another video coming up, and yeah, you know, answer the question. And actually, you know what, if you made it all the way to the end of this, just write down maple syrup bitches in the comment section, just to know that you made it all the way to the end of this thing. And yeah, thanks so much, guys. Peace.